So my name is Abby Island, and I am Chase's mum.
Yay! She caught it!
We know that autism is a lot more known of these days, but unfortunately there still just isn't enough awareness.
I'm going to help you.
Yeah, go.
It's hard enough for a child to go to a GP practice as it is. When you suffer with multiple complex needs on top of that, it's harder. Chase has suffered with quite a lot of respiratory needs as a child. He has obviously the stick put down his throat, and he's had to have cannulas with antibiotics before now. And yeah, we've not had the greatest experience. And then obviously COVID hit with the masks and the gloves and the gowns. And I think for Chase that was quite frightening. So for me to be able to invite obviously complete strangers into my home and potentially give them the knowledge that they need to take away from this experience, you know, I'm all up for that basically.
Hi Chase.
Hello.
Hi, you found me.
I want to tell you what's my favourite toy, the dumper truck.
I think there's nothing better than going into somebody's home and seeing the full picture. There he is.
I will admit that I did have a preconception about autism, is that people sometimes find it difficult to express affection or express love. But seeing Chase, that's actually completely not true. And it really just goes to show that you might have preconceptions about what people with autism diagnosis are actually like, but you don't see what happens when you're not there. You don't see the stuff that's happening behind the scenes.
No.
When the students first came, I think we all felt a bit awkward. Typical. But they were lovely. So we started this with Harry and Helena were coming for Eliza. She actually didn't ever come downstairs or get involved, and Finn did. And then actually, since they've been visiting, Finn got his diagnosis. But I think even just by them being here and seeing that she, didn't feel safe or comfortable enough to come down, that's learning in itself, I think. Loud noises are a real issue. Loud talking, busy crowded spaces, strong smells, uncertainty. Even to be examined or something could be quite difficult.
One of the things I've learned is how the child sitting in front of you in clinic may be doing all they can to appear how they're meant to be appearing. Was one thing Nicole said is, believe the parent, they're not going to be making this up, and they've had real struggle with people not taking them seriously because at the time of the appointment the child seems fine. That doesn't mean that there aren't these challenges going on at home that we just can't see.
So I'm Anne White, I'm a community paediatrician, but I'm also the lead for Time for Autism.
They're in there.
We need all doctors to understand about autism and the spectrum of autism. And that's what this programme is going to do. And if we have more paediatricians, more GPs, that'd be wonderful. But actually more doctors who are compassionate and understanding, that would be best. Within my work, I see a lot of children who are potentially in the autistic spectrum, but even then it's not very long. At the maximum it's an hour we'll have, which is a long appointment. And I try and understand the family's whole setup and everything that's going on, but I don't. You go to a family's home, that's really different, isn't it? You can really see what's happening.
Historically, training about autism for medical students has been a little bit patchy. Most medical schools will talk about autism, but it can be very fleeting. It can be mentioned as part of a lecture, or it can be a little bit ad hoc, so a student may or may not meet an autistic person in a clinic. And we really wanted to change that at Brighton and Sussex Medical School and give the students a really thorough understanding of autism. So all our medical students will have gone through this programme and will have this grounding in working with autistic people, so that they're going to be really well equipped when they go out and start their first jobs.
Alex, do you remember what you were saying about George being your friend?
Oh yeah,
Is he your best friend?
Oh,
he's
wow.
my brother.
So our relationship with the students has actually developed into kind of like a friendship. It really has. The boys have made them a present and painted them a picture. I feel like we've invested in them. I feel like they've invested in us as well, actually, because we don't hide anything. we're not ashamed, we're not embarrassed by anything, like this is just how it is, and they need to know these things as well. That yeah, you know, you're still here at 10:30 at night trying to get them to bed, that you might spend 2 hours in the morning like literally making sure everything is in place so you can get them through those school gates, because if you don't do this and this, you might not be getting them through the school gates. And also, like, just in my head, I have visions of Alex as a 20-year-old going to hospital. I want the doctor to treat him properly. And so if we can do something so that even these 2 doctors, we'll do this every year that it's on, you know, 2 doctors for whatever, that it changes them and means that they're better doctors for it, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Alex, if you ever have something that's sore or hurts, are you able to tell people it's sore, or is there anything you do when you find something sore?
Well, I do tell Mummy and Daddy.
Angie told us that if Alex didn't feel like talking, that he could squeeze her hand. So I think 1 meant yes, 2 meant no, and then 3 was I don't know, if she was asking if he was okay. Even in our practice moving forward, if you had a patient sat in front of you who couldn't talk for whatever reason, all of us can say to a patient, I understand if you can't talk, but I'm going to hold your hand, squeeze once for yes, 2 for, like that. We can apply that to so many things.
And this approach to like actually meeting the family, having this setting where you get to know the family on a personal level, and then you can actually understand, you know, what goes into the mind and the thinking of when they want to go on holiday somewhere or when they want to go out somewhere. Those things we can't get off a book that tells us what autism is. But we're more mindful now when we see someone come in with autism and, like, you know, treating them, because we know what went into the process of bringing them into hospital in the first place. And I just like the hands-on part. I really, really enjoyed going in there, meeting the family, getting to know them. I don't think I'd remember as much about autism as I can now, because when I think about autism, I think of Alex, and I'll definitely be thinking of him in my exam if I have a question on autism and think, what does Alex like?